We're
made
live.
that one count.
We're
I made
live.
that.
There you go. There you go. He's
Excuse me.
got the
Introduce him, bud.
bronchitis fucking up over there. It's Mental Health Monday. Late. It's late. It's a little late on the Mental Health Monday today.
A little bit later.
But that's because we're working hard for everybody. Because theme of the day, appreciation. We appreciate you guys, and because of that, we're still putting in that work to bring you the best quality content we can, as far as the show
That's a
goes.
fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, so that's what we were doing. That's why we were late. We apologize. We apologize, but we're still here, getting that mind right on a Monday night. What do we got more spooky? Oh, I see you.
Got
I see you.
my little
Do,
skeleton boy in the
can we
background
give it a
here.
name? I feel like we should have named it.
I don't think we have, but it needs to be named.
It does need a name.
But you know what? Like, okay, so we're live and it's going on the fly. Funny story of appreciation. Somebody I really appreciated in my life that I got the privilege to know was my great grandfather. He was an old farmer from around here, but just a really good fucking dude. And he told me a story. So his name was just JB, right? That's it, JB.
Okay.
JB Roberts. So he said one time he went and got his license, had to get him renewed, take the test, all that good shit. Got his new license. When he was filling out, he put J, and then in parentheses he put only, and then he put B, and in parentheses he put only. Because everybody's like, well, is J short for like J-A-Y? No, it's not. It's just the letter J, and it's just the letter B. So he got his license, going home, gets pulled over, gives the cop his license. Cop goes and like runs it, comes back and starts laughing. He's like, "You got to be fucking kidding me!" And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "You really mean to tell me that your name is Jonely Bonely Roberts?" So I think in that circumstance, Jonely Bonely, ladies and gentlemen, Jonely Bonely, in the background,
I like that. I like that.
doing his thing.
I think you've told me that story before, because as soon as you started to say that, I'm like, wait a minute, I've heard this Jonely Bunley story before. But that's a good. I think that's a great name.
Great name. So
Great
we got
name.
Jonely Bonely. He's here for the season. Tonight is the full harvest moon, ladies and gentlemen. We made it. It's fall. It's time to get fucking wild.
Lit like a pumpkin, as some would say.
Hey, I guess we lost our viewers. I got too hype for them. I was too hype on.
I didn't even know we had any viewers.
I saw one pop up and one go away. So like, it is what it is. But
it was too quick for my computer to register.
We are talking appreciation this Monday a little bit later than normal. Again, sorry. We were doing some things in the woods while the moon was rising. I saw a little red tint to it. If you want more, you can peep the Facebook. You can peep the Snapchat. You can check out all that shit. That's not what this is about. We're talking appreciation.
We're talking appreciation. Yeah. We're talking appreciation.
And, big thing that we've been doing over this whole weekend, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
Very much appreciation.
Yeah, that's definitely a good starting point right there, is just the appreciation we feel for everybody who's been supportive of what we've been doing. Our appreciation of our cast and our one-man band, Easy. You know, we dumped a lot of appreciation on them the other night on the back of the bunk. But it still rings true. It still rings true. It's it hasn't gone down any. We still appreciate the hell out of everybody, and it's just been a pleasure to work with all of them.
Yeah.
But why we chose to talk appreciation today? There's nobody I appreciate more in this world than my best friend in the entire world, Philip Hazen. His birthday was yesterday. Old Philly Phil, and he doesn't pop up as much lately, but you got to remember, there wouldn't be no Chase and Shep show if there wasn't Phil and Chase. It was the groundwork that came to bring all these things to fruition. I was like, who loved it? I was bamboozled. So, but yeah, Philip and I, we met in 2007 when I first moved here, back here, I suppose. And I started going to school. He was one of the first people I met, and we ended up becoming best friends, man. Like, it was one of those things that, like, the rest is history. Like, it's been 14 years, and that man's 28. That's half of that man's life I've been around. And he's, it's one of those things where I appreciate the hell out of him. And he called me the other day to drop some appreciation on me and tell me the things he appreciates that I've done for him. But my thing is, like, people can feel however they want about Phil. Like, we all have our enemies. We've all wronged people, but at the end of the day, like, nobody knows the Phil that I know, and that's close to my heart. He's my brother. Like, I've never had anybody like him in my life. I don't think there will ever be another Phil. Shep, you're my homie, but just like you got your apple cinnamon. I got
I
my
do,
I
yeah,
got my Philly
Pudgy.
cheesesteak. We all got our tastes. We all got somebody. Uh, but yeah, and both of us, Phil and I both have always appreciated the friendship that we have because we know that it's rare. It's a rare friendship to have to be that strong and to last that long. And we've
Yes.
had plenty of people, tell us shit before where it's just like, no, fuck that other dude. Like, drop that guy like a sack of potatoes. It's like, but I would never, never give up on my dude.
No,
Like, even in
the
the hardest of
friendships, yeah,
times.
the friendships that you've had for a long time are beautiful, and they
Hmm.
are something to appreciate and to look back on, and to really, love where you came from and where you're at. Like, you brought up Pudgy. He's that for me.
Hmm.
Been there through everything. Like, there isn't a big moment in my life that he wasn't around, and same for me with him. That's like brother inseparable. Philly, again, a great guy. I know of him through you, and
Hmm.
very great guy. Much love out goes out to Phil. Happy belated birthday, my man's. And it's great when you can watch your friends grow and try, and really give it their all. And that's a very beautiful thing, and should be appreciated and shouldn't ever be glossed over. So much love, Philly. Proud of you, buddy. Keep up the hard work and keep fighting, my mans, because we are all out here
Hmm.
fighting. And
We're
stop
all,
by. Stop by
yeah.
for the Mental Health Monday if you ever need it, my man. We're
I
always
was
here.
gonna say we're all out here doing different stuff. Like, he may not be here, but we're all working towards the same goal. Like, we all are basically working on ourselves
Hmm.
to work towards that collective. We did it. Like, we all made it, and we made it together, and lifting each other up. Because it's just, again, that form of showing appreciation to the people who you see are passionate, the people that you love, the people that you want to see succeed. Like, we were literally just talking about it a minute ago, where it's just one of those things where, like, sometimes you want to be spiteful or petty, just for the sake of it, and it's not worth it. Sometimes you just got to put that aside and just do the right thing, man, and just
No, I feel
fucking
that.
appreciate somebody else and their talent, and put that want to see them succeed higher, because that's why you're being petty in the first place most of the time. In my case,
No,
that's,
yeah.
it's like, but use that negativity into something positive, for
Oh
sure.
yeah, man. I wish everybody could succeed. If I had it my way, everybody would succeed at that dream that they had to succeed at. A good musician line from a song I dig that always stands out is he said, there's enough for everyone's need, meaning on the planet, we can all do exactly what we want. There's enough for our
Hmm.
need, but there's not enough for our greed. And that's the sad reality of the truth. And I feel like that's where that pettiness, that envy, that jealousy, all those
Hmm.
things come in. And they're all in that same form and fashion of
Right.
emotion.
Right.
But yeah, no, I've not, I'd say in the past year, maybe a year and a half, 2 years, I've
Mhm.
really tried to go in hard on appreciation.
Yeah.
There's things that happen in life that everybody will come across. I feel like, and
Mhm.
that's the moment where you gotta, it catches you because it always comes out of nowhere, man, and it'll
Mhm.
catch you. And then you got to do that self-reflecting, and you got to look in, and you got to learn, like, we, although it seems boring and long at times, it's really it's just such a short amount of time
Yeah.
that we'll be here. So you've got to step back and you've got to appreciate your day to day, who you are, the people that you do have in your life. And I've tried to ramp it up and show that, tell that, let people know. I'm quick with, speaking what's on
Mhm.
my mind and my emotions towards people that are in my life, and letting them know exactly what it is I think and how I feel, because I know it's that short and I know it can be done at any moment. And, I don't ever want to
Yeah.
leave people with doubt. So
Yeah, because I mean, this was something you and I were talking about earlier too. Where, another, again, somebody that I appreciate greatly, and has been there for me so much. is going through a real hard time herself right now, going, dealing with a really heavy loss that was very unsuspected. And it's definitely made me think about, appreciation a lot, as well, uh, and it, it is one of those things, man. You just never know. Like, things can be so fleeting. And we all feel like we'll be here forever, or even the people who don't think we're going to be here forever, we at least think we'll be here for another, couple decades at the very most, but
Oh
it
yeah,
can really be any
nobody plans
time.
on it. That was
Yeah.
always one of my, like especially when it comes to your end date. One of my favorite lines from Constantine, and I even put that in the Devil's Reject song on the Halloween and superhero music shit. Of he sits there and basically comes out and says like you don't you never really think about dying until you're about to die. Like
Hmm.
you don't think you're gonna get in a car accident tomorrow. You don't think you're gonna like get all this stress and depression and everything, which could lead you down so many different paths to meet your end.
Hmm.
You don't plan on that. You don't go through life every day going, okay, like in a week and a half that's going to go down, so okay. And to stop and, as cliche it is, smell the roses,
Hmm.
and really appreciate being able to go to work, appreciate having a place to go to work if you do, appreciate a bed to sleep in if you have it, appreciating all the friends you have in your life, if they're around, and know that if not, like if you still get that next day, there's still a chance for all that to change.
Hmm.
It's
Well,
not, it's not said and done until it's
yeah,
said and done.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, with change. It's kind of a similar situation, because I saw something not too long ago. I wish I could remember what it was from, because it was a good one. But basically, it's the whole, like, oh, I think it's some video on YouTube, but it's like, back in my day, like, oh, your generation is lazy because you don't have to do this, this, and this, and this, but we had to. And the other person comes back with, but didn't you work hard so that our generation didn't have to do those things? Like, why should it be just as hard for us? Like, wasn't that the point? And honestly, that's kind of how I felt about, like, my pettiness situation. It's like, I can be petty and I can be upset about, like, feeling like, oh, people are trying to be a certain type of way. But it's like, isn't this the whole reason we just did what we did? Like, isn't that the whole reason to build ourselves up as a brand, is to be able to help other people, like, succeed? Like, isn't that the whole idea? For that one of us can go up to bring the others up. So to start being petty and cutting those people out, that defeats the whole purpose of what you were trying to do in the first place. And
It really does.
and I think that's a constant problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a generational thing. It's a personal thing. Like, I think that kind of shit happens all the time, where we defeat ourselves, you know, because of shit like this, where it's just like we get in our heads, we get prideful, shit like that, and focus on things that aren't worth focusing on. We focus on all the wrong parts of something, and
No, I've always been just trying to focus on self lately, but not
mhm.
like when I be like selfish, not in like a hurtful or meanful way
Right.
towards anybody else. I always try to be like very mindful. If I'm going to be selfish, it's going to be in a way that will only affect me, type of thing. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
But like I vibe with that, man, because it is the whole point of everything is for us all to succeed, and that's you can't really people do step on other people, but
Mhm.
that ain't my game. That ain't never been my
Yeah.
game.
And
Yeah,
that's, yeah, exactly. And it's just appreciating all of it, just appreciating the ride, appreciating the time. I know we talked about this a couple of weeks ago on Mental Health Monday, but I'll bring it up again because it's the best movie ever made. But about time, man. Like, the ending of About Time, when he's like, now I live every day like it's my second day living it, and I don't time travel at all. Like, dude, it's the only movie I cry tears of joy at the end of that film every single fucking time I see it, because I'm like, that is beautiful. That is such a beautiful way to end the movie. uh got the slow mo shots of all the just happy moments and shit, like the little Ben Folds playing over it, and I'm just like, ah. But it's beautiful, man, and it's a great
is it
message.
brick?
Like,
Is it brick? She's a brick and I'm drowning. Is that one?
nah,
Is that
nah, nah, nah.
man?
The Luckiest. The song is called "The Luckiest" by Ben Folds. It'll get you. The song alone will get you. But, like, I'm big on visuals and audio. Like, when they sync up, like, that'll just make me teary eyed to begin with. But throw that beautiful, beautiful, life affirming message on there. It's like, yo, You know, some of the shit, it ain't permanent. Like, you know, you can't change things. You gotta appreciate. And I love that movie. You know, uh,
Yeah, no, it's the truth, man. And there's things we'll appreciate too late.
mhm,
There's things that you'll learn to appreciate when it's happening, so you can appreciate it later. But that was, Adventure Time is always one of my favorite shows, and that was one of the messages when that show was done. I feel like was like, like things are going to come to an end. Like pretty much everything in life is eventually going to come to an end for all of us. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? Like the things that we're doing day to day, the lives that we're living, it's all going to come. Everything's a phase, everything's a change, and eventually that change will come to an end where you're starting your next phase into the next stage of life.
right.
um, and it's like, but no matter what, if you appreciate things, if you learn to appreciate things in the moment, you can always go back and keep appreciating that later on in life, because it always
Hmm.
happened, and it will always happen at that specific time that it happened. So you can learn to appreciate that and maybe be okay with a few things.
Right. Yeah, and I think, you know, with the title of, you know, don't hate, appreciate, like it's true. I think that's kind of what we've touched on a lot here is like these moments of you can be a hater and do dumb shit, or you can appreciate, and the positivity is gonna, you know, be seen through everything. You know, it's gonna work its way into all your shit
Yeah,
in
and it
life.
will. And just think of how you would perceive somebody that was like that. Of every time you accomplish somebody or
Hmm.
something, there was just a person that was just overjoyed and was like, hell yeah,
Hmm.
go you. That's so great. And like, you never know what can happen.
Yeah.
If I know anybody, I know a few people like that in life, and I love them. I think they're dope as fuck, and I'm like, man, I like that. Always full of energy, always
Hmm.
happy, always appreciative of everything going on in their life
Hmm.
and where they're at. And it's a certain energy that a lot of people want to be drawn to, and then you will be drawn to.
We talk about it all the time. Last week, I think we said we were going to get a tattoo around our eye of perspective, because we talk about it so much. But it, you know, again, it comes up here of changing that perspective. Don't hate, appreciate. You know, that it's easy for a situation to come up and you're like, ugh, you know, just immediately like fuck all of this. Or you can take a minute to appreciate it, even if if it's a big old L you're taking. You know, you got to take a minute and you got to appreciate those L's sometimes. You got to appreciate the loss, and you got to appreciate what it's teaching you, what it's giving you, and not what
Was
it's
it,
taken away from you.
because it's not a loss then, because it's not really a loss if you end up learning something from it. So if you do, like, if there is something that you tried to do and you failed and you did not appreciate any of it, and you
Hmm.
just instantly went negative, you'd walk away with the L. You know what I'm saying? Because you'd walk away like, fuck this, that's dumb anyway, I don't give a fuck,
Hmm.
and you'd walk away and that'd be that. But if you appreciated the moment you were in and you took it for what it was, and you, instead of were negative, you took it as an opportunity to learn, and then like, say it was like a concert or something, and you
You're right.
like, you look through it and you're like, that, oh, I could see some stuff I did wrong, I could see some stuff I could improve on. Well, then is it really a loss if the next one you do is 4 times as good as that last one?
Right. Right.
Like, it's like that with us making the
Yeah.
summer
I was
campaign.
gonna say the show is a
you know
perfect example of that.
is it a loss if we took all the things that we've learned from streaming and making our short and all this stuff and all these movies we watched and learn from things that look kind of cheesy, kind of stupid the last time, but kind of
Hmm.
cool the last time, and we're like, oh shit, that worked,
Hmm.
and improved on it. Is that a loss? No, nothing's been a
No,
loss.
not at
It's
all.
all been a gain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, you know, this whole show has been like that. You know, like I was just telling you guys earlier, you know, I rewatched the first two episodes last night, and it was the first time I could fully appreciate them, and just enjoy them as an audience member instead of being so critical of the, you know, what it lacks, I suppose. But it's, you know, exactly what you just said. Like I look at it and quit trying to compare it to the past or the future. I just, you know, watch it for what it is, and like for what it is, for what we've done, for the resources we had, fuck, it ain't too bad. And that was a good feeling. Like it's like even if anything, we met our goal of doing better than last time. and the things that aren't perfect are things that we said weren't going to be perfect from the get-go. We're like, we don't do these things. We don't know how to,
No, but
do certain things, but we're going to do it.
But then that'll be our moment when it's all said and done to sit back and watch how it played out and look at it and go, okay, how could we make this better? Because there are a few things that we have thrown together on a whim and been like, okay, this might work, this might not, and then we do it and we're like, holy fuck, this turned out perfect. And
it's one of those things moving into the next project. It's like already, like I've already taken so much of what we've learned here and immediately started applying it to the next thing of being like, okay, I know I don't want to do this, and this again, like this if I absolutely have to, but otherwise I want to start doing these things, like, things that like I never would have known if we hadn't just started making the show. You just got to go for it. And I've definitely just appreciated the whole experience overall. Like no matter what the end of all of this is, I've just really appreciated getting to do it. And like you were saying earlier, people who it's always that nice feeling when people just appreciate your growth and are like that makes that I'm proud of you, man. Like that's so awesome. Like I'm proud of you for doing this. And I've gotten a few of those from people that like it's really meant a lot, to hear that from people, because these are people who have known me for long ass time. Like we went back to like high school together, and like people who have always known me as the guy who wants to make movies. Like I've always been the movie kid like my entire life. So for this to finally happen, I think people are proud of me. Like they're like I'm so happy to see you do this. Like I'm so happy to see that you've never given up at this. And it's like I've always just tried to figure it out, whatever the resources are. Like I didn't even have a computer to edit on until the beginning of last year. And you notice like you can even see when all the content started hitting the YouTube page the most was exactly when I bought the computer. And it just started going. And it took me a lot of time to get this computer, like it took me a long time to get to the point where I started having equipment. And it's one of those things where I appreciate all of it right now. Like it's things that I do not take for granted, because I know
how hard it was to not have.
I went so long, like even as like a teenager and shit, people, they'd be like, what do you want for Christmas? And I'm like, listen, even if I don't get anything else, like if you guys could collectively come together to get me like a computer so that I could like edit and like make movies on and shit. And it just never came to fruition because it was an expensive ask. And I'm like, I get it. And then I moved out after high school, and it was just the whole living paycheck to paycheck thing, not really prioritizing, because I'm like, I have to live, I have to learn how to survive, because I moved out right after high school. So I was preoccupied with some stuff. And I eventually got to a point where I'm like, no, I need to get this computer and I need to start working on shit. And that's exactly what I've been doing the past couple of years.
That's dope.
And I'm just excited to continue to see the growth. Like even today I woke up this morning and just immediately just felt like shit. And I woke up on Saturday and kind of felt like that. And it was really weird because we dropped the show on Friday. And so you would think I'd be feeling pretty chipper and everything, but I was like hella depressed on Saturday for some reason. And I went to like do DoorDash and stuff, and I couldn't do it. I was so distracted. I was just in my head. So I came back for the day and just like I worked through some of our movies we're gonna do for the Slays coming up, and slowly but surely just started picking away at other stuff that needed to be done, and was able to kind of get my way out of that funk eventually by being like, but look at what you did get done. Even in editing this week, I'm like, trying to start at the beginning and edit it through was like becoming a very tedious task for me. So instead of getting hung up on that, I just started telling myself, where are you at? Where do you want to start? You want to start in the middle? You want to start at the end? Like, who gives a shit? Like, just start somewhere, start doing it, and eventually it's all going to get done. And that's exactly what happened. And like today I woke up and I felt like I just immediately started feeling like shit. And I got ahead of it. I was just like, yo, you just open your eyes. And the first thing you're doing is the first thing I was stressing about was not getting that payment this morning. And I'm like, bro, you got to be shitting me. Like, we got things to do and I didn't get paid. And like, I just started stressing and immediately just started stressing about like a million things. And I just had to stop and take a minute. And like, that's one of those things that's a lot of growth for me. Like, I've recognized that I've gotten to a point where I can start dialing it back and being like, nah, man, like it's all good.
Going against that flow. Going against that flow.
Exactly.
It's trying to flow you down. Yeah. But it's going against that flow. And you got to do that. Like, and I've had to do that. Like we've talked about recently too. Like sometimes our minds like to fuck with us, man. And we got to fight them. We got to go against them, and we got to stand our ground in a way, and say, nah, I can't do that. I got to fight through this. I'm not going to go back and have a depressed episode.
Exactly.
I'm just not going to do it. And just like you said, sometimes just taking the little ones and starting to chip away at little things here and there is all it'll take to get you in a rhythm. Once you're in a rhythm, you're going to be in a flow. And once you're in a flow, you're good to go. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
So it really is a battle day to day. But, like you said, you gotta look back. You got to appreciate what you've gotten done in the days you've had.
Right. Yeah.
I like to take a lot of downtime with my days and chill and do this and that. And today's been bounce. But it's like, nah, but you got to look back and appreciate the shit you got to do and having fun and living life, man, because we get it and we got to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
We get it. We live it. We got to do it, man.
Yep.
And it's the harvest moon, so you can feed off that energy. Full moon tonight. If you're into those spooky vibes and stuff like that and witchy sort of stuff, it's a night to recharge. It's a night to get that energy and feel good and feel alive. It was beautiful. So if you haven't had a chance, I know it's cloudy, I think, out, but try to go look at it because
I might still go for a walk tonight just because it was such a beautiful moon. I want to see it again.
It definitely is a very beautiful moon.
There's a beautiful sunset earlier too, even though it was blinding the living shit out of us.
Yeah,
it was.
But
it
still
was a
dope.
gorgeous sun.
I was covered in blood.
The blood.
Looking weird as hell. So, but it is what it is.
Sprinkling in a little more appreciation for the guy at Casey's, because I think he did subscribe to us.
Oh,
right after that.
Yeah.
So shouts out to you if you check this out.
Most definitely, because that's props. He thought the blood was tattoos on me, and I was like, nah, it's for.
I was happy he was the first person who asked if he asked where's that camp located at. I was wearing the Camp Chase and Shep shirt, and I'm like, it's not. It's fictional. It's from a TV show that we're doing, and he's like, what? Like, so things like that. It's one of those things that I appreciate it. Even today, don't hate, appreciate. We got a little bit of hate. We got a little bit of hate today. We got our first comment on YouTube that we were like, oh shit. We've got thoughts on it, but all that aside, we appreciated it. We kind of appreciated it in a way. Like, it made us feel like we were doing something right, and we took a lot from it. And even that person appreciated us. Like, even within some of their hate, they were doling out. They were like, they were basically like, let me preface with and end with, but this show slaps. Like, this show is pretty good. These are my qualms. And I'm like, you know what? I respect that.
Which are all very valid points, and we did not disagree with anything that was said in it. And we were like, no, we get that. We just felt like we try to have that come across, but I'm hoping the person sticks with it and gets to see that overall. The two of us kind of know what we're doing at camp, but not really. Like, you got to understand, it would be like if Ashley Slashley was fucking there running a camp. Like, people are probably gonna die because that's what happens when you mess with the Book of the Dead.
That's what happens.
Some weird stuff happens, man.
You mess with the Book of the Dead, you get the horns of the devil. You know what I mean?
Horns.
Yeah.
We're living in it. ATM.
Living it day by day.
The guys were pointing their little cameras at us today at camp, so we'll see on Friday what was going around.
I just don't know if I can do this split life thing. I don't know if I can commit to that bit.
You can't bounce into character as well as I can like that, huh?
I mean, I can.
I'm telling you, since we're not on an official summer camp thing right now, and we keep having somebody pop in and out, so it's not like we got too many viewers. But on Fridays, we definitely should stay in character, though. When we go live on Fridays, it should be like we're really at that camp. Like, oh, well, that was an interesting episode.
I feel you. Like a crypt keeper kind of situation.
yeah, and like
But
you
not.
know, like we break character, so like we can
Right.
break character when we feel like I did, and but like at the same time be like, but yeah, um, so like yeah, a lot of kids died today, you know, or something.
Right. Well, I'll have to figure out a way to be able to drop behind the scenes stuff while also being in character as the character from the camp.
I mean, if the film guys get it, the film
The
guys
film
get it.
guys
You
get
know
it.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I mean. We're just we just do our thing. Whatever.
Yeah, they just kind of send us the
Whatever.
footage, and we're like, all right, we'll play it. And like,
Whatever.
dang, that's kind of fucked up. You caught a bad side of me, like last week when those kids, man. Kind of a
Yeah,
shame that
that's some incriminating shit. And then you go washing your hands in a
But really, it's not because like it actually kind of helps me out because it shows that I really didn't do a damn thing, and I did not kill them. Like obviously,
you did take and like help read out the book and shit. Like you're responsible. Like you're still an accomplice.
but
I
not
think.
for what has been seen.
Fair enough.
So like we don't really know what's gonna happen, you know.
Fair enough. This isn't mental health. This
No.
is
We went off the rails. We go off the rails sometimes. I feel like this one's more on the rails than last week's.
Yeah, this week really stayed on the rails. At least we didn't completely change to like talking about money management skills this week. But yeah, mad appreciation for
Everybody. Yeah, everybody
Every last
involved.
one of you. Priyanka, love you.
Love you.
Philip, love you.
Love you.
You're my dude. Happiest of birthdays. Here's to another 14. Yeah. Yeah. Best friends for life, homie.
Yeah. All right, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Much love to Pudgy. Much love to everybody. Easy, Black Mage, Humbly G, AV, Pesci.
All of them.
There's got to be people
Just
on
give some love to
Hello.
Camp Nostalgia, the Redditors.
Camp Nostalgia.
Just, you know, we haven't seen her in a while, but Christine
All my homies
Mariello,
on Instagram, fucking sharing the shit out of the Camp Chasing Shep. Love you guys. Love you
all
guys.
of you
Much
guys.
appreciated. Much
All of you guys.
appreciated. Christine, yes.
Christine Mariello. We haven't seen her in a while, but
Miss her. We're gonna have to catch up one of these Mondays.
we do. We need her back here soon. It's been too long,
Yeah,
too long, and it looks like she's been doing a lot herself. So it'll be cool to catch up. It'll be cool to catch up. I appreciate all of you guys, and I appreciate seeing y'all's growth and work as well. We're all out here doing our best and working through it every single day.
I love it. I love to see it.
Happy to help. We're happy to help on
you know
those
what?
Mondays.
I appreciate you, Chase.
Hey, I appreciate you, Shep.
Thanks, man.
Couldn't have done all this without you. You know?
Appreciate you, Jonely.
You rocked it today, Jonely Bonely.
He did. He killed his scene, so
I just got my Buddha back there. Appreciate you, Buddha.
Appreciate you, Buddha. Appreciate it. Appreciate Halloween. Appreciate the harvest moon. Go outside and give your love to the moon gods.
Right, got that spooky weather. And you know how it is.
We'll see you Wednesday.
What if we come back on Wednesday? Spoiler alert, we do. We do.
Unless the world ends.
Right. In which case that'd be a bummer because then you wouldn't get to see how summer camp ends.
That would really be a drag, but we'd tell you on the other side.
Yeah, we'd tell you on the other side. We'd bring the footage. All right. Go to bed,
Mooches and deuces, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you Wednesday.